Several years ago in a homily, I used the lyrics from a country song by a performer named Jimmy Wayne. And I thought I would use it again today. The name of the song is I Love You This Much. The storyline of the song begins with a little boy whose parents are not together, and rarely does he get to see his dad. And they go like this. He can't remember the times that he thought, does my daddy love me? Probably not. That didn't stop him from wishing that he did. Didn't keep him from wanting or worshiping him. He guesses he saw him about once a year. He could still feel the way he felt, standing in tears, stretching his arms out as far as they'd go, whispering, "Daddy, I want you to know. I love you this much, and I'm waiting on you to make up your mind if you love me too. However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much." All of us, like this little boy in the song, has struggles we deal with on a daily basis, and all of us have hardships of some sort. These struggles and hardships take many forms, and like the little boy in the song, some of us deal with relationship issues. This might be with our spouses, our children, our parents, siblings. It could be with in-laws, friends, co-workers, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Some of the hardships could be financial. Maybe some are barely getting by, hard to make ends meet. Possibly the loss of a job has affected your life. Some of our struggles can be in the form of addictions to alcohol or drugs, gambling, pornography, sex. Perhaps we struggle with an eating disorder, or we have psychological issues. We have anxiety or depression. It can be health issues that we are struggling with. Cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, chronic arthritis, a stroke, whatever it might be. And if it's not with us dealing with our own things, perhaps we are the caregiver for somebody that we love. We take on their burdens along with all of ours. For those of us who are parents, we never stop worrying about our children when they are young, away at school, maybe in the military, out on their own, married with children, and then we worry about the grandkids. And maybe recently, or not so recently, someone you loved has passed away. And you are dealing with the grief that comes with losing someone and the pain of missing them every single day. The issues that we deal with on a daily basis are too numerous to mention, but we all have them. And we all know what affects us as individuals. And all of us, like the little boy, we hurt. The song continues. He grew to hate him for what he had done, because what kind of father could do that to his son? He said, "Damn you, Daddy," the day he died. The man in him didn't blink, but the little boy cried. I love you this much, and I'm waiting on you to make up your mind if you love me too. However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much. These struggles that we all have, if we let them, can consume us. They are all we think about. We let them fester, and for most of us, we keep them inside of us. And when we keep them inside, it can tend to affect us in other ways. Our relationships with someone else. This other person might offer to help in any way they can. You know how it is. What can I do for you? And because of stubbornness, or just the state that we are in, we might say, keep your nose out of my business. This has nothing to do with you. Or when someone might say to you, I know what you are going through. I know how you feel. I feel your pain. You might say, you do not know what I am going through. There is nothing you can do to help. And how do you think you know what I am feeling? Other relationships can also be hurt. It can cause us to be anxious. It could cause depression to set in. And maybe when we do confide in somebody, a friend, a family member, a therapist, a counselor, a priest, or a deacon, you might listen to that advice. They might say, you know, you need to confront the person you're struggling with. You might need to get somebody else to help you to take care of mom or dad. And as much as we know inside they are probably right, we resist. And we might think, they don't know what we are talking about. How can they possibly know what I am going through? It's easy for them to say that, but they aren't living it. And the song continues. Halfway through the service, while the choir sang a hymn, he looked up above the preacher and he sat and stared at him. He said, "Forgive me, Father," when he realized that he hadn't been unloved or alone all his life. His arms were stretched out as far as they'd go, nailed to the cross for the whole world to know. That I love you this much, and I'm waiting on you to make up your mind, do you love me too? However long it takes, I'm never giving up, no matter what. I love you this much. I saw some of you looking up here above me when I read that last verse of the song. You might have been surprised. Maybe you didn't notice it, but the cross isn't here. It's not up behind me. Maybe our surprise at the cross being gone is us taking that cross for granted. Maybe we just assume, whether consciously or subconsciously, that the cross will be up there when we come here. Whether that be weekly or monthly or yearly, whatever it might be. But what we need to realize and be reminded of is that what Jesus did for us by dying on that cross doesn't just happen when we are here. That cross is present with us all the time. All the time. Whatever our struggles, Jesus wants to take that pain we feel, and he wants to add it to the weight of that cross. Jesus on the cross is with us each time we think of the person that we are struggling with, each time we feel pain. The cross is there for us no matter what. The cross is there when we feel despair. Each time we break down and cry. Each time we throw up our hands and says, God, I don't know what to do. In a little while, some of our youth are going to be bringing that cross in for all of us to see. Now that cross is very heavy, very heavy. And you'll see on the faces of these young people how heavy it is, believe me. But imagine how it felt for Jesus on that Friday some 2,000 years ago. He endured that pain. He endured the humiliation, the beating, the crown of thorns, the nails driven in his hands and feet. And through all of that, he asked his Father to forgive them. So after all that, and still offering forgiveness, what you and I have put on him, he will gladly take on. So today, as you come forward to venerate that cross, to touch it, to kiss it, to genuflect in front of it, to bow down in front of it, take this opportunity to lay your cares and your burdens on that cross. And let us realize today that it is not only on Good Friday each year that we can lay our burdens on him. Let us take comfort in knowing that Jesus on that cross stretched out his arms as far as they'd go, nailed to the cross for the whole world to know. And he says, I love you this much, and I'm waiting on you to make up your mind. Do you love me too? However long it takes, he's never giving up. Jesus says, no matter what, I love you this much.